Alright. Here goes nothing, I guess, mate. Inertial dampeners disabled. Firing thrusters. What could go wrong? Okay, I've got a ways to go before I get to the planet. I don't want to speed up any further in case this thing doesn't have enough braking thrust. So I'll have to rely on the momentum I've got on for now. Now, there's a reason why I didn't pack components back on the Skyfire for a refinery, an assembler, or a medbay, because I want to travel light. And packing big components like that, I wouldn't exactly call that traveling light. But when I accessed that Alliance craft and when it updated my systems to the same version as the spacesuit software on this time, it replaced the old schematics of the Space Engineer tech that I used to use on my time with this time's Space Engineer tech, which shares the same or similar component similarities, so I won't be out of touch with which component. Not on top of that, but it's also provided new components such as the survival kit, which is basically a miniaturized refinery assembler and medbay rolled into one device, which allows me to pack light. So that's why I'm bringing this and bringing minimal resources with me, because I don't want to bring too much, otherwise I'd be a tempting target for any Alliance out here in case if they are, because I've got a hunch that their situation is just as desperate as mine. Alright, I'm not seeing any Alliance on sensors. I've turned off my thrusters to reduce my signature. I'll be riding on momentum until I reach the gravity well. Well, before I reach it anyway. In fact, I'm not detecting any radio signal. Damn it! I just realized I didn't equip this thing with an antenna and an ore scanner. So how am I gonna... something I'm gonna have to deal with when I get to the planet's surface. I'll have to build those components instead. And if I want to scan for nearby ore veins, I'm going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. With the scanner in my hand drill. I just hope this survival kit works and does what the system says it will do. God damn it. Freaking noggin. I just hope I get lucky anyway. Well, I've armed this escape pod, so it's not like I won't be able to defend myself. Alright, well the planet is coming into visual range. And another thing, because I was such an idiot and did not equip my escape pod with the said antenna, I have no idea where that USAC emergency distress beacon comes from, so I'll be landing on the planet blind. More so, as I could potentially accidentally land this escape pod at an Alliance base. There's a good chance of that too. I could either A, get really lucky and manage to land at the same location where I received that USAC distress call, B, inadvertently land at an Alliance base on the planet's surface, or C, just land in the middle of nowhere. But I'm gonna go with option D in pertaining to avoiding option B and C, and hopefully getting lucky with option A, and that is, option D is locate an area that's right next to a lake and somewhere that's rich in resources. So as soon as I get on the edge of the gravity well, I'm gonna scour around the planet in an area that looks like right next to a lakeside, in the hopes that it also is rich in resources, because I'll need access to hydrogen and oxygen, or just hydrogen, because I know I'll be able to breathe. Okay. Well, alright, I'm beginning to slow down. Alright, what I'm going to do is circle around the planet and look for a good spot. Here we go. There's this lakeside right next to that desert area of the planet. I gotta say, the planet looks a lot arid, but it is kind of beautiful. Almost reminds me of Earth, you know, before it got wrecked. Anyway, firing main thrusters, I know I already did that. But that should do, and hopefully I don't accidentally wind myself up in an Alliance base, or hopefully I do end up next to that distress beacon. Both are in the likely category, and I just... Fingers crossed! That was the worst silly fingers crossed I've ever done in my entire life. Logan Paul can do it better.
Fingers crossed!
Okay, I know this is also a bad time to discuss it, considering them about to re-enter the planet's atmosphere, but I need to get it off my chest. The entry into the portal. That's my best guess as to what happened. I was the last to go through. Part of me needs to hope that some of the 9th Exodus fleet managed to make it to a New Eden. And the distress call on the planet's surface is just the other half calling for help. And it's not one of the other ships from the 9th Exodus fleet. And hopefully it's just the broken off section of the other half of the Skyfire. But I've got to be prepared for what I find down there either way, and hopefully I can get to those survivors before the Alliance have. If they haven't already, and it's just probably an automated distress call broadcasting from the other half of the wreckage. After the Alliance, say, already came and killed them or something. Which is my biggest fear. If they haven't already, depending on how long I've been asleep in stasis. But hopefully I'm wrong and I do find some kind of survivor down there from either the other half of the Skyfire or any other ship that hasn't been compromised by any Alliance on the planet's surface. Although I'm a contracted mercenary working for the USAC, they did give me the privilege of flagship leader to captain the Skyfire, which means those ships were under my command, and it's my responsibility to make sure those ships, those crews, and most importantly, those colonists make it safely to their new home. Otherwise, I would have failed my mission entirely. So this will be my goal when I get down there. Build a temporary base, then use the facilities of that base to build me transportation around the planet and make my way to the distress beacon. Then work out a plan after that. Hopefully I can build enough resources to recover what's left of the Skyfire in the hopes to build something to get out of here. Okay, I've aligned the escape pod's re-entry vector to the spot where I want to go. That lakeside right on the edge of that desert area. Hopefully I can make it down safely without crashing and I open the parachute in time. Oh god. Braking thrusters are doing their jobs. They're preventing me from burning up on re-entry. That's good. Alright, descent speed is 162 meters per second, accelerating fast, 65, 66. I gotta watch that speed when I open the parachutes. I also gotta eventually turn the lights off on this escape pod. It's a bit of a waste that I decided to build these lights instead of the ore detector and the antenna, but I suppose I thought they were just as a priority because I thought there was a good chance I was going to land on the planet's surface in the event it was dark out, so it was a good contingency to have at the time, including the Gatling guns, even though I haven't encountered any hostiles. Alright, about to enter the planet's atmosphere. Deploying parachute. I hope I didn't deploy too early. I'm still gaining... Oh no, I'm starting to slow down. It's working. I just hope I have enough braking thrust. Wait for it. Oh, I'm feeling the impact. Major speed decrease. Major speed hit. There we go. Major reduction. There we go. I'm starting to safely decelerate. Alright. Alright, the landing area is just coming into view now. Oh no. Now I think about it, it looks like I'm going to hit that lake area. Oh, I don't want to swim. Just got to push to... I know my ions will barely work in atmosphere, so I'm trying to push my atmospherics to try and throttle me forwards to hopefully land on that hill area. I don't think I'm at a good angle. I don't think I'm going to make it. No, it looks like I'm over it. Well, I don't want to hit that bedrock hillside either. Alright, best I can do hopefully is try and land on that beach area right next to the lake, and hopefully I don't have to go for a swim. Alright, about to touch down. Hopefully I hit it at the right angle. Oh, I just realized I think I'm coming in a little too fast. It could damage the pod. Oh no, here we go. Oh. And I'm down. Safe and sound, and I can see smoke. That's not good. Well, I better hop outside and breathe the fresh air. Let's see how good it is. Oh, fresh air. Oh. Oh. Yeah, I came in a little too fast. It damaged the landing gear. That's why I didn't land solid safely. But it's good to see it's just the landing gear, not the rest of the pod. Oh, fresh air. I forgot how cold it feels. Oh man, I miss this ever since Earth. Damn. Now, I was tempted to build my base up somewhere up here on the hillside. I mean, I've got a good vantage point, excellent coverage of the area, but I'm gonna have to consider the possibility that I can't bring my resources up here, and it'll take too much time and effort just to haul it up here to build a base up here. No, I'll have to settle with building one down at the frozen lakeside. It's mostly not ideal, but at least I won't be spotted on the hilltop, so it'll give me some coverage. First of all, this needs to come off. It's totally wrecked. Right, so the first order of business is to look around somewhere that's going to be my new base, and that starts with going through my inventory and placing a block somewhere. So, which is going to be the place around this little lakeside that's going to be the makings of my base? Not many that choices. Oh, I could place it on the lake. It's completely frozen entirely, so why not? I hope the whole thing doesn't melt on me, fingers crossed. And here we go. Right, time to unpack and build that survival kit. Right, I've hit a bit of a snag. The remaining survival kit components are apparently buried in the small cargo container behind this medium one, which means I'm gonna have to empty this one out of its components temporarily so I can grind the medium one to access the small ones that are buried behind it. And what I'll do now is build a new medium cargo container from the same components that I use extracted from the escape pod. That way I can put all the stuff back into something that I can store later on instead of just lying them around exposed to the elements. My escape pod. The weight gave up, I suppose. There we go. Ooh! The progression system. It unlocked some new set of components when I built that medium cargo container. Excellent! What I'll do now is start work on disassembling my escape pod. It served its purpose. It got me down to the planet safely. Now, which component should I start first? Yeah, let's try here. Oh, damn it! Oh, thank God this parachute wasn't damaged. I forgot to I thought I unloaded it. God damn it! Hopefully with these ion components stripped off, perhaps it could just level down. I'll have to work on that. It's not coming down. I'm gonna have to place something as a counterweight in order to level it down. Right, well, new golden rule. Any component that I can't fit into the cargo container needs to be dedicated to the temporary base I'm building here. Now, I gotta remember, I can't build any battery banks. I gotta build something along the line of either a solar farm or a wind turbine. Mainly due to the fact that when you grind battery components, you destroy the power cells inside. So it's not ideal to destroy precious components such as power cells. So I'll build some power components that I can easily grind down and bring with me in the future, such as solar panels and the new wind farm designs. Nearly there. Just gotta keep fidgeting around for those survival kit components. I hope I did actually bring them. Hopefully this flattens out the surface of the pod, that way I can land it straight facing down. Eventually I'll do that, but not right now, obviously. Right, I appear to be suffering some slight cargo space issues, so what I'm going to do is build a small ship cargo container so I can store more components better. Unfortunately, it takes a lot of components to build, so I'll either throw in the components I have into that cargo container or whatever else in the temporary base. Alright, that's it mostly completed. Now I just got to get it power. Right, it's a bit of a cheat, but I'm going to use the survival kit as a kind of a storage area to store most of my components, because it's got a dedicated store area when it completes components. Because right now I'm running out of storage space right now, and I need to work on that. Right, so I need to get the survival kit powered up, so my best bet is to create an incomplete rotor, but have all its power connections set up. That way I can set up a small rotor head connected to one of the small damn it. The rotors are locked behind the progression system. There's no way I can build them. The only way to unlock them is to build the certain components key to them that would lead to their unlockment. Oh, there's only one option I can think of. Break down the survival kit and rebuild it on the escape pod. It's the only way I can channel power to it. Whether on a large grid or a small grid, either way, the survival kit's doing its job for me and building me the components I require and keeping me alive, so it should be alright. Now, it doesn't appear it has the ability to break down components for extra resources, unlike its bigger counterparts, such as the basic assembler and the assembler. Hey, wait a minute, that's not a bad idea. I'll use the survival kit to build me the basic assembler. God, that's exactly what it's built for, the survival kit. I'll use it to build the basic assembler, and also now I have the ability to produce components to build the wind turbine. So I'll have the ability to power this grid. And any additional components I have left over from that I can't fit in my cargo containers as a result of me grinding down the escape pod, I'll just throw into the basic assembler and hope I have enough components. But first I need to produce said components, so I'll just mine some stone out, that way the basic assembler can produce the resources out of it, that way I can get started. Wait, what the? How? How is the bottom more heavier than the top? You got the survival kit on it. It must be the uranium or the small reactors adding the extra weight. Well, I'm gonna see if I can create a counterweight to try and flat it out. Come on, let's see if it... Nah, it didn't work. Well, at least it's... I'm tempted to make an erect joke. I'm not even kidding, because it just really went up that way. I've been in space for too long. My brain's gone soft. Alright. I'll just jetpack up here. Now it's a little bit lower for me to work with. Just use a bit of that jetpack fuel. Though it doesn't appear I'm going to run out of... Oh, I haven't built a... Never mind. And almost. Nearly, baby. Nearly. Come on. Yeah! Talk about getting unstiff. Oh, damn. Yeah, I've been in stasis for too long. It's good to feel like my real self again. But now the survival kit is flat down on the ground in general, I have much more easier access to it. It makes my life down here a whole lot more easier now. Almost. I just need small steel tubes, but I don't have enough. And the small steel tubes I pulled from the Gatling guns from the escape pods aren't enough either. Only the basic assembler can produce those, not the survival kit. Best thing I can do is just hopefully dedicate the remaining resource that the survival kit can produce to building the remaining components to build the basic assembler. And also the components to build the wind turbine so I can power the basic assembler as well as the connector board. Alright, finally, with the basic assembler done, I can now build some basic components. As well, I can use, if need be, the basic assembler for additional storage, because I haven't completed the cargo container yet. What I plan to do next now is build a connector port. It won't be connected to the grid, but its main purpose will be to connect power from the small reactors that are powering my escape pod to powering my mini base. I know I should be building something like the wind turbine so I can actually power my base, but I just want to get this off my conscience. It's starting to rain. God damn it. Oh yeah, I don't want to rest or do anything. Right now I just want to push myself to getting this base completed. That way I have a roof over my head and I don't want to be stuck out of the weather any longer than I have to. So let's get this built out as best as possible. My spacesuit's currently a wreck, but it's doing a good job keeping me dry so far. I hope it doesn't go soggy. Right, I've officially reached my limit, especially that this weather has come, so I'm going to get started building this wind turbine. So I need a way to actually power this basic assembler, especially that I need it to produce the resources that I need. Good, we've got power, especially now. Now I can power my basic assembler or any other components I plan to put on the grid. And I've unlocked some additional components from the progression system. Alright. And we can start by using the basic assembler's disassemble capability to break down some of the components so I can build the small steel tubes. That way I can complete the cargo container and resolve my cargo issue. And thank God they designed these components that they built for the space engineers to be water resistant. I mean, don't get me wrong, they could still rust, but they'll last way longer before any of that bullshit starts to happen. But I still need to get this mini base set up as fast as possible. And get a roof over my head as well, get a roof over these components as well. Except for the wind turbine, with obvious reasons though. At least I've got power to the base now. I hope I don't catch a cold with all this rain about. Alright, it's completely empty. Now we just grind you down and use your extra components. And finally, and we move everything to the new cargo container. And let's see if I can... that's alright. No, nothing for this connector either, but let's complete these blocks anyway, so everything's ready when I attach the small reactors. Damn it, I just realized I haven't unlocked the small reactors on the progression system yet, which means I can't build the small reactors to this small grid, and I can't grind down the small reactors already on the escape pod without losing them entirely. I'm gonna have to think of another way. I've got it. Instead of trying to build new small reactors because I can't, I'll just use the reactors I already got offhand. So what I'm gonna do is this. And I'm going to build a platform around the small reactors already constructed and see if I can move that platform to the mini base, build a connector on top, and connect it to the connector I've already constructed so I can hook up these two small reactors to the grid. I just got to make sure the surface is flat enough so it could slide across the ice. Just get this out of the way. I'm going to take out the uranium in the hopes to reduce the weight so it could be easy for me to move it. Alright, here it goes. It's working. Just gotta get it a little... and just nudge it. Just nudge it a bit. Just don't want to get it off that cliff there. That'd be a disaster. Okay, nearly there. Nearly there. Alright. We need a bit more forward pushing power, so I just gotta... nearly there. There we are. Just gotta nudge it. Try to make sure I nudge it in a straight line as best as possible. I know it's a bit wobbly. There we go. It's working though. There we go. Nearly. And that should do. Before I approach it entirely, I'm just gonna... Alright, grind these out of the way so I can make space. That way the connector can actually approach it. Alright. Let's try... yeah. Just hope it doesn't fall down because it's out of... There we go. Alright, that looks perfectly aligned. Now, what I'm going to do next is just dump the resources that I've got stored in here. And next, I'll put uranium back in its reactor, so when I complete this grid, I'll be able to connect both connectors together and channel more energy to the base. Now, just make sure that the survival kit's completely empty, then I'm going to grind it down and attach it, and, well, reattach it to this grid finally. That way I'll have a working survival kit again. Well, it was already working, it's just unpowered. Alright. That's our business. Just gonna make sure it's facing the direction I want. Alright! Yeah, just gotta get some extra steel plates, why not? Boom! Alright, everything successfully transitioned to my new mini base. I just need now to produce the resources to make this more like a home for me to stay in temporarily. As well as complete these connectors so I can finally channel power from these small reactors.
Inventory full.
Great, I have a bit more resources to work with so I can flesh out the base more a bit and complete the components that I need. Alright, hopefully I should have enough to complete the second connector. And I do! Eureka! And I hope they connect in a line. Ah, they're already drawing each other together. I'll just complete this to make sure. Ah, what am I doing? And lock. Alright. Now we've got power from the small reactors powering the base. Good. A little extra energy never hurt anyone. Now what I need to do next is build a crap ton of steel plates, mate. Because I need a bloody roof over my head and fast. So, yeah, let's get that started. I've decided to build a basic refinery due to the fact that the built-in refinery in the survival kit is just designed to process the little ores that are found in stone. It's not designed to process the raw ores that refineries can. This will allow me to produce iron more quickly and thus more steel plates, and will also allow me to refine any other additional resources that I might require in future. But first off, I need to find said resources. I really am missing that ore detector. Ah, well, I'll get around to it eventually. The reason I'm looking for iron now is because the survival kit, as well as the basic assembler, is already creating the resources I need to build the basic refinery. But I'm just looking for an iron source anyway. Oh, there it is. I'm just getting this iron source anyway. So by the time the components are completed and I've constructed the basic refinery, I'll have the iron ready to go on hand on the go instead of just making it later on. Oh, this looks like a good angle to attack it. I'll just get at it now. Alright, I've got a ways to go. I'm really close. Nearly. Come on. I think it's literally right there. Struck gold, mate! Well, struck iron, but close enough. Is it close enough? I don't know. Anyway, let's see if I can get some of this. Alright, last bit of stone that I got. byproduct of my mining. Just as I thought, survival kit can't produce the iron. If I'm not busy mining, I'm busy adding whatever components that the survival kit and the basic assembler has churned out, then go back to mining. Alright, that should be enough to get the basic refinery more or less complete. Let's see how it goes. Aha! Here we go, and boom! And completing it appears to have unlocked a new set of blueprints in the progression system. Great! Those could come in handy. And it's already producing the iron I need. Alright, let's see if we can get those steel plates done. Alright, now I've got everything I need to complete this base mostly. Make it feel like mostly a home. Now, I need an actual bed to sleep on, and I don't want to sleep on the floor, so let's see if I can find... Ah, great. The bed schematics are locked. Hang on. Maybe if I just build this internal... Yeah, I'll build this component to see if that automatically locks the bed component. Because I need something to sleep on apart from the floor. I mean, that'd be uncomfortable as all hell. Alright, I'll build this interior wall, and hopefully it gets the job done. And I'll probably grind it down later on or just leave it as it is. I don't know. At least it's providing a wall and a little bit of, I don't know, just unique style to the base in general. How much does those components? I'll just produce... Yeah, that should do. Alright, I'll get started on this interior wall. Construction components. Not a surprise. Fortunately, I'm getting those on hand. More than enough. Boom! I should be able to build a bed now. And I'll also get rid of this, because this ramp leading to nowhere is not doing me any favors. The annoying thing about the progression system is because I understand why it's there. It's because that the memories of all the schematics in my suit's databanks is recycling and is going through a phase, and I have to build a certain component for the system to keep accessing like file directories or whatever to unlock the files to the certain blueprints. Because the progression system's either there for two reasons. To solve a memory problem as you progress through unlocking the other components, or it's if the component schematics are not inside your suit's memories at all, and you've got to research them by, I don't know, it's another progression protocol. Doesn't matter. Alright, that's my bed more or less complete. And now I just need a door, so nobody just walks in. And a wall over here. I mean, nobody could just walk into my place. I mean, privacy, man. Half block. Why not? It gives my inside of my house a little bit more structure and space, but yeah, less resources for me to grind down in future when it's time for me to move out. Finally, the door too. Now I have a roof over my head. The bed feels alright, apart from the bars. I can just move those out of the way. It kind of does feel like a bed, but it should do me okay for now. A roll cage bed, but it's a bed. Yeah, I need some light when it's nighttime. Don't want to constantly use my suit light, of course. Alright, my temporary base is officially complete. The reason I'm not setting up permanently here in this area, mainly due to the fact I kind of don't feel secure. It's just a gut feeling. So this is only temporary until I build a vehicle that allows me to traverse around the planet effectively so I can reach the USAC distress signal I picked up back in orbit. But yeah, this should give me a roof over my head and facilities and a place for me to rest and give me the facilities to build said vehicle until then. But for now, I need to sleep because I've been working non-stop just to get this place going. Oh, I'm getting tired. Well, at least I now have a roof over my head.
From my understanding, you've got a roof over your head and food under your nose.
Alright, well I need to get as much R&R as best as possible and try to be careful and not to go ham on the remaining food supplies that I've got left. Then when I'm ready to go, I'll go out and get started and mine and refine and get resources and get started on this vehicle that I want to build. And I need to maintain my self-traveling light as best as possible. For now, I ain't traveling, I'm resting because I'm getting tired. I think I'll be asleep for a few days. Even in stasis that long sleep, I'm still gonna have to get more sleep. Anyway, I'm gonna take my kip till my next entry. This is Captain Liam Venture signing off. Good night.